This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Afternoon Update for Tuesday, May 19th. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Our top story, Education Minister Ronald Jones comes out strongly against corporal punishment. Speaking at a restorative practices workshop training for principal and deputy principals of secondary schools in Barbados this morning, Jones made it clear that some of the country's parents lacked the necessary skills to raise children, and he wants the issue addressed at the national level.
There's some parents who should never have conceived. Should never have conceived. The physical ability to reproduce is what it is. But beyond that, there are a whole other set of emotions and practices that are important to the reign of a child, to the reign of a young one. Some people might say that that is strong, but it is the truth.
In other news, it's back to court this morning for the police chief for the hearing of contempt for a court matter involving sports shooters who are challenging a decision made by the acting top cop under the Firearms Act. Emmanuel Joseph is there and tells us more.
A new twist to the sports shooters case against acting Commissioner of Police Tyrone Griffith emerged in the number 10 High Court this morning. The acting commissioner, who is currently out of office for a few days, went to court and made a sworn statement that he had resumed renewing the licenses of sports shooters. It was this same matter which forced the shooters to bring a contempt of court motion against Griffith after he defied an interim injunction order that he desist from refusing to renew the licenses until the substantive case is heard. But according to attorney for the sports shooters, Wilfred Abram, even though that complaint has now been purged and is no longer a contempt matter, his clients will still pursue the substantive matter, which is set for June the 8th. That substantive matter, Abram said, is the acting commissioner's refusal to renew the licenses in the first place, and the shooters still want answers from Griffith as to why he denied them renewals, which Abrams argued is tantamount to revocation. So in summary, the acting commissioner still has to tell the court on June the 8th why he took the decision to refuse to renew the licenses of sports shooters in Barbados, even though he informed the judge this morning he had now resumed renewals. When he appeared in court this morning, Griffith was accompanied by Oral Williams, who is acting for him during his time away from office. From the Barbados Supreme Court, Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
The island's Chief Justice will soon be on a civil trial in his own court. In an unprecedented move last week, Vernon Smith QC filed the suit claiming that Sir Marston Gibson refused to allow him to represent his client, Bradley Consulting Services, on April 14 on the grounds that he had not paid his annual subscription to the Bar Association. Smith argues that the Chief Justice's action constitutes disbarment without due process and is a serious breach of his legal, constitutional, fundamental, and human rights. The veteran lawyer is therefore seeking a written undertaking that the Chief Justice will not at any time without due process disbar him from representing his clients, that he submits a written apology for his action, and that he states the sum of money he is prepared to pay for breaching his rights. No word yet on an agreement between striking private waste haulers and the government. Yesterday, the group reported that a compromise was in sight following an over 5-hour-long meeting with Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe. But when contacted by Barbados Today this morning, spokesman for the Waste Haulers Association, Charles Reed, said the work stoppage, now into its second week, was continuing pending an outcome of talks with the government on the controversial $25 tipping fee for every ton of refuse or part thereof dumped at the privately owned Sustainable Barbados Recycling Center at Vaucluse, St. Thomas. An opposition senator is laying the blame for the recent chikungunya outbreak squarely at the feet of Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe. Senator Wilfred Abraham suggests that the minister has made a string of bad decisions which have severely affected the ability of the Sanitation Service Authority to keep the country tidy and free of disease.
Dennis Lowe presiding over the worst epidemic in recent times in Barbados. The whole chikungunya thing, right? Don't let anybody fool you. That was not any natural health issue. That was as a result of the amount of bush and garbage that we had in Barbados last year. Last year, Barbados was stink.
On a bright note, it's gold number 17 for Barbados at the prestigious Chelsea Flower Show. The Barbados Horticulture Society won the coveted medal for its display Gully Adventure. The display featured a wide variety of plants and vines that can be found in gullies, including the breaded fig tree vines, crotons, several species of ferns, along with orchids, ginger lilies, and heliconias.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Farley Hill, Crane Beach, fried chicken at Pug's Bar, all parts of Barbadian life that some might know, but others don't. So join me, Katrina Marshall, as I go about town and across country, peeking into tucked away districts and liming with the people who bring them to life. About town and across country, coming soon to Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We pick up on the regional scene where Guyana officials are confirming today that 10 miners lost their lives after a cave that they were working in collapsed on Sunday. More in this report from Capital News in Georgetown.
The mine where the pit collapsed was located in the Mawasi-Bagdam, Pataran Region 8, police said. 7 of the miners were rescued on Sunday, but the rescue operation to get the others out proved futile. The Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association in a statement said it was deeply saddened by the tragic accident and will take all necessary steps to fully investigate the cause of the tragedy. The heavy rainfall in the area reportedly contributed to the collapse of the cave, killing the 10 men who were buried.
Internationally, we head to France, where teachers across the country are scheduled to leave the classroom for the picket line. Trade unions representing 80% of teachers at French middle schools say their members are going on strike against government reforms to the education system. The government wants to reduce teaching of Latin and ancient Greek, scrap an intensive language scheme, and change the history curriculum. But the unions argue that the reforms will only serve to increase inequalities and class separation. And that's our afternoon update, but you can join us again this evening. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 online TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? #sexy.